the one feature my uncle wanted most was a digital production board.
Oh,
and
here we are.
Here we are at the digital
You're
production
color,
board.
all those are your sales reps. The colors there. You have multiple information on each card. This is how your production. I'm sure lots of people out there would love to see their production board just like this.
What's up, guys? Welcome to the Blue Collar Boardroom. We got a special episode. In this episode, you're going to find out roofing contractors, solar contractors, blue collar entrepreneurs, if you have system problems, if you have software problems. And look, man, if you're struggling with finding time, feeling like you're burning the candle at both ends, let me tell you something. My favorite way to solve that it's not productive is to cheers, dude. And it's late in the day. We're drinking White Claw, and I'm with my man, Aaron Trujillo, who, as I was experiencing a lot of pain going from a big company, like doing $40 to $50 million a year, to try and evolve to the next step, I hit a brick wall. In my supplement department, we weren't able to scale because we couldn't follow the process. We were using 80 different CRMs that weren't connected. And more importantly, as I scaled, I had a lot of these issues, and what would happen was, as a small company, I would have certain issues, and I would grow, and I think I would outgrow the issues, but they would show themselves in different forms. Mm-hmm. And so Aaron came in as an outside eye, as a guy who has experience. I respect him as a roofing sales rep, as a management a roofer who worked with one of the largest roofing companies in Denver, to help me implement a new process. I wanted a digital production board. I wanted an integration between my sales systems, my marketing systems, so that I could track the cost per sale from all these digital marketing campaigns and this new age inside sales system that we were running. And so I needed to blow up my system. And I had system problems. So even companies that have $40 million companies have system problems. And if you're married to like the way you do things, don't worry. If there was no one that was more married to it, it was me. Huh. My dad built this software. It's called Claimexpress in 2012. It's built off of this platform. It's a little outdated. It doesn't connect with all the softwares, but it does all the right processes. And it was so hard to make the switch. But I decided mid-year, even though with hundreds of people, hundreds of users, that I was going to make the switch and blow everything up. And I brought in my man, Aaron, and we're going to go through the 5 biggest signs you have system problems. We're going to go through my system problems, and I'm going to have some White Claw and enjoy. My man, Aaron's completely sober, okay? Yeah. So he's the sober guy, and
I'll be completely lucid in this entire interview. So
beautiful. And me, I'm going to be a little looser, and I'm going to be honest with you. I was very married to Claimexpress. I knew the system, and because it did certain things as a sales rep, as an owner, I was in it all the time. This new system, I'm not in as much, and it's harder for me to adapt, to buy into completely. As an owner, I'm looking for more things that these other companies don't provide, and so I had to build my own. And the challenge and the bullshit thing here is I probably haven't done a good enough job learning all of these new systems myself. So as we go through like this revolutionary change, it's going to change the roofing industry, change the life for blue collar contractors, change the life for contracting sales pros. It's going to be the first time you can have a virtual business suite, a chance to really truly do business from your phone, to work 24/7 in your sleep, even following up on your campaigns digitally, in person. You know, the digital duplication is what I talk about. And so, Aaron, when I talked about this, you thought I was crazy, or what'd you think?
There's a lot. It's to come in and do, I said, not only move systems, but then also build and make it grow and allow it to just sprout legs and feet of its own to kind of make it something of its own kind. And it was exciting, absolutely, to kind of put that all together. And that is actually the dream, is to put all these pieces together in the one place and just have it just skyrocket.
So throughout this episode, we're going to feature our digital production board, our digital marketing systems, the back end of our sales and marketing engine. And we're also going to go through these biggest signs that you have system problems. And I'm going to start right now, problem solution. If you're a roofing contractor, blue collar entrepreneur, look, no standardized process to handle production. You know, you guys handling subcontractors. They just hand out the jobs to any roofer that comes through. They don't have intake. Talk about, you know, you've worked at some of the biggest companies. You work with some of the smallest companies. What the standard process for production really, I mean, even out-of-date companies that have this are good, but guys that don't have massive problems. Am I correct?
Absolutely. Most of the time, no standardized process is basically wild, wild west. When a guy gets a job, a sales guy, they put as much as they possibly can of the job as what they think would a production manager would need to put it on the roof. They go to the production manager looks at it and says, oh, it's not at all anything. So now I have to call my guy. I have to send somebody out there to take more pictures. They have to do more work before they can think about ordering materials, scheduling a job. So that's another sometimes days, weeks before they even can look at it. So that was standard in a lot of my guys. It's just all reactionary. What the salesman says, I'm either going to believe it as truth.
No checks and balances.
No checks and balances. Or I have to go and redo his job for him so I can get what I need. So not only the standardized process, but no communication there between the two.
So, you know, here I am, a young sales rep, learning this lesson for the first time in Akron, Ohio. I'm probably like 20-something years old. I'm going partying. I'm in charge of about a 4-man sales team. I'm a literal, like, borderline American degenerate. So I had no organization skills. And the reality was I would take these jobs without completing all the work orders. I would take the jobs without doing proper intake being the right photos on a job. Today I took a call and the lady was complaining about a solar panel. And I wanted to see if the solar panels were old before we built it. And she's holding a $69,000 check. But the job was built without the right photos before the job, so I couldn't verify it. And so the reality is there's a certain protocol, and I've had to learn through beating my head up against the wall that my dad's system of if you can bill it, you can build it, and to truly build the work orders out for every single trade, to understand the cost, the profitability, and track the variance. And for me, a standardized process for production was just started with the intake. And without, you know, a CRM, if you're a roofing contractor, you're doing lots of volume, first of all, you need a production manager. I guess 5 biggest signs you have system problems to me is that, one, you don't have a production manager.
Right.
I mean, how often do you find these smaller guys that are trying to wear those hats?
All the time. It's usually the owner is production manager, sales manager, accountant, all of the above. So they're just trying to make it by throughout with no process, even just like what I see right now in my face is what I'm going to do right now. Doesn't matter of what level or what they need to do. They're just this is in my face. Or they react. They get the phone call. Oh, when are you going to do this? And so they're just trying to react to all that stuff. We had a company,
Renaissance Contracting. They came in at about $2 million. They're going to do 5.5. He needed a production manager. He had retail sales in Michigan. And the biggest thing is he was selling. He was running production. He was doing accounting. He was doing cap outs. He was doing payroll. He's doing everything. He had maybe a little bit of an assistant, but you know, there was no way truly for him to sell. He's making good money. And so forgive that White Claw, because we are working late and having a good time. Happy holidays, baby. I hope you're having a Merry Christmas. Like and subscribe if you love this stuff. Because if you're a roofing contractor, I know you're being honest with me tonight. I'm going to be honest with you. I'm going to show you some systems. I'm going to be getting some training while we break down our system. But I've been this guy, one guy wearing too many hats, even in a large company, whether I'm focusing on being the sales director and I'm working on marketing, or I'm also trying to drive home all these different things in another industry where I'm coaching other roofers. And so I have to look at myself and say, okay, guys, if you're wearing too many hats, what can you delegate? Do a list of your daily tasks. And if you could train somebody, the real deal is you start somebody that's 50% as good as you, you train them up to be 70, 80% as good as you, and you hold your hand throughout the process. But you know, the reality is, guys, these tasks of finding those people, recruit, hire, train, they will give you that feeling of, if you have anxiety and fear because you feel like you're running on a treadmill because you're wearing too many hats, burning at both ends. Have you ever seen these people?
Yeah.
What do they look like? Give me an instance.
They're tired. They're just, and and when you say delegate, that sometimes the hard understanding is like, it doesn't have to be massive. It's like, I'm going to give this piece of my organization over to this person. It's nothing like that. It's small pieces, understanding the process. And that's where they can't get going because they're always trying to catch up to themselves, where it really has to be small, start small, like you said, like in production, you get somebody that just does a permit. That's what they do. Mm-hmm. You just have that one person call and get permits.
A lot of people want to know how this applies to me. So I had to scale a supplement department. This year, that supplement department got $6.5 million in added supplements for the company. Mm-hmm. And I had to buy into someone to be in charge of it. It was expensive. And really, it was great. It not only added more profit, but it was self-profitable. I had to add a collections department. Now I'm hiring more people just to collect my money, and this is added overhead. Also, just these departments alone, the accounting really was my biggest problem. Mm-hmm. And if you look, unorganized in multiple departments is the reason why, and this is one of the, if you're looking at your division, mm-hmm. Are you unorganized in sales? Are you unorganized in production? Are you organized in marketing? Can you track everything and where it's at all the time? For me, we were good at being close and guessing, but we were unorganized in these multiple departments, in accounting mm-hmm. particularly, because I had to figure we have a lot of profit and loss splits with managers, salespeople, overrides for sales managers, and it was getting out of control when we had systems that weren't connected. Our software mm-hmm. didn't connect to QuickBooks. Mm-hmm. When we had people that were on different pay plans and things weren't clear. Mm-hmm. And, talk to them about being unorganized in multiple departments and what getting the right systems in place, does.
Redundant numbers. So having departments understand their, like accounting, like you said.
Pull up my board. Okay, so one of the biggest reasons that we wanted this system was we wanted a board for each department. So this is the production board. Pull up the accounting board. So the accounting department is customer service for capping out jobs for the salespeople. And I want them to think of the salespeople getting jobs, because we're blue-collar American dream makers at our RCA. Their job is to service them. Mm-hmm. And whether it's capping out their jobs or being on the up and up with the management, they have to build a kind of assembly line to pay out on payroll, to verify the stuff. And here we go.
Now I want to say something real quick. When it comes to the accounting board, this is beautiful because it's not crowded. Mainly because that means that the job is processing through perfectly. You don't want like stuff sitting there for too long in the job approved stage, for instance. You want it to get over and out of this system. So this looking like this is beautiful because there's a great process happening here. You don't want it to have like nothing but cards here.
Just like what you're looking at here is sort of like Trello technology that really is kind of what our system is the best of both worlds, all the worlds. Mm-hmm. And, if you're a big company, sometimes you outgrow these systems. And the system that I had was my own system. And so if you're not on a CRM, obviously you might have multiple departments that are unorganized. But I doubt someone with multiple departments is not having a CRM.
No, they would.
Talk about a bigger company that went and like mine that was trying to do this, or let's just say working in Denver. Mm-hmm. What was it like trying to get all the departments organized and aligned on the software?
Challenging, but really coming down to what do you do? Your accounting. So how do we build a process that once it's handed off to you, that you can just do this piece and then you hand it off to the next piece? That's ideally all the process is. And when you deal with departmental processes, what happens before that is everybody's wearing so many different hats, and that your accounting person could be putting a lead in. These are things you want to departmentalize, and you can do it systematic like this. It's like, hey, when it gets here, here's the 3 things you need to do. And once you're done with that, you hand it off, and that's how you get that good process moving.
Now, that same client, friend of yours, he made it big by yellow page ads. Mm-hmm. And buying full page yellow page ads used to get you tons of leads. Mm-hmm. And you used to, like, in the Rockefeller Habits, a book that I study, it says the first reason why businesses fail is they don't have good enough marketing. If people don't know you, they won't flow you. Mm-hmm. Second reason why they fail is they don't have good enough accounting. Mm-hmm. So I need a sales CRM that could monitor the marketing, because digital marketing is a big deal of what we do. And I was unorganized as a guy that's the king of digital marketing for blue collar entrepreneurs in my own digital marketing systems. I didn't know when I started scaling my ad spend to millions of dollars a year, I didn't know exactly what my costs were. And when you don't know what your numbers are exactly to the T, you don't know what ads to scale. And so that show us our digital marketing board.
Well, before we do that, I wanted to kind of add to that that what we're showing here and what I think is the best tool, what you're leading to, is that having a production management tool like this, that anything sold, any money generated revenue that you already have, you put in a system like this where you're just managing the jobs from the build and
well, yeah. Before I get to
production.
that, let me talk about that, because pull up the production for the total offices and being unorganized in multiple departments. As I went from 1 or 2, 3 offices, right? We always ran a production board, and here I'll show you a production board, what it looks like. It was a magnet board. It's based off of the way the Japanese would run a auto plant. It was based off of not started, in progress, completed. It was each sales rep had their own color, and we would build for each type of work order, sort of a card that we would move through the system.
Right.
And my uncle, a guy who had scaled a business to 100 million and saw the future, he said, let's build a CRM. Now, my dad, he was the one building the CRM, but the one feature my uncle wanted most was a digital production board. Oh, and here we are at the digital production
color,
board.
All those are your sales reps, the colors there. You have multiple information on each card. This is how your production, I'm sure lots of people out there would love to see their production board just like this. It's like, look at all those jobs that are in process of getting into a
okay, let's go through this.
Set.
So at the front, we got intake.
Right.
And we have a lot of jobs that are being turned in. Some of these jobs get kicked back and they're not ready. So that's why they sit there in intake.
Right.
But tell them why it's important to make people move through these steps.
Just getting to the goal is really what it comes down to, is that from this stage is one, I know where everything is in this process. So if it's, I'm preparing for permit, I know my permit tech right now is working on that status. If it's there, I can trust that they're doing that. It's all a series of handoffs to who departmentally is doing what. And then you set up.
Frankly, we had some bad reviews, and I was talked shit about on the internet about how we had a customer service. We called ourselves a Chick-fil-A roofing, but we were getting bad reviews. And so I had to update my system to keep up with sales. And luckily this thing automates getting more 5-star reviews, but it's about delivering better service to the client. And when someone calls you and they want to know where they're at, but they're in a different state, but they call the corporate office, this allows me to basically know where everything's at all the time. And, being unorganized in multiple departments, we have one of these assembly line boards start to finish for every department. And for me, that was like a really big deal. The next thing that I really see as a big problem is they have no fucking idea how much money they're making. Tell me a story of somebody that worked their ass off and then just didn't even know what the fuck they were making.
Oh, geez, another guy in Denver that small little guys that just kind of a best friends that started a roofing company, and they came to me and they had the system. They had no idea what to do with the system. They were just basically almost like the roofers, like the sub crews, is how they were running their business. Is that, we got it and we're going to do this roof, and then they were done. They didn't know how much they would make out of it. And so they had no idea. Like, they had a bunch of jobs, they had a lot of production, and they had no idea how much money in the end of the day, into the year that they were making. Hence, they brought in a system and were able to start scaling and making better decisions with their company, and adding sales in there and finding the ways that they need, the departments that they needed to be successful, because there was no departments. By using the system, they actually found how they can do that, and now they know, they run it by the numbers. They know exactly how much they did this year. They know how much they're projected to do next year, and they can see where they can get better through that timeline.
Yeah, and that allows you to take more risk. When you know how much money you're making, then you can double down on your business, because really all successful businesses require that you take 70% of the profits instead of paying Uncle Sam. Right. Dude, I can buy badass apartments. I bought an apartment with a friend of mine. We sold it for $18 million today. We bought it for $11 million 2 years ago. We thought it was going to take 5 years, and the goal was 17 and a half. $500,000 over our estimated. And, the reality is that, investments into things that allow me to automate profits are just like digital real estate in my business. And it kind of brings me to the next thing, which the most consistent and dependable way to build wealth is the ability to advertise for profit. Kind of got ahead of myself talking about the digital marketing before production, but I'm so excited because I'm most passionate about generating leads. So you started like as a door knocker. What do you know about generating leads as a roofer or a contractor? How did you start in this?
Knocking as many doors as I possibly
Tell me
can.
about how you got in the business. Give us the low down dirty, because I'm having a beer. Mr. Aaron's representative. Now we've had a long day. We've had 2-day hackathon here, and I just wanted to stay loose. But more importantly, tell them your story, like how you got into the business, how it saved you, and how it gave you character, confidence, and financial independence.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, I worked for telecom for 12 years, and I drank through all of that, and I basically a recovering alcoholic. And had enough. I lost my job, a 12-year career that I made the company change and made them millions and millions of dollars. Got a hold of a plaque, go to Cabo. I was top tier kind of guy over at the telecom company, and it goes to show that everybody's replaceable. So I got fired because I just couldn't get off.
Fuck the corporate job. That's bullshit.
Right. And I got canned and needed a job. I have 3 beautiful children, and
Beautiful
I needed
family. And one on the way.
One on the way. I have a
Congratulations.
I have a boy on the way. I'm super excited. Yeah, and I need to pay child support. I need to take care of my kids, and so I kind of friend from the rooms kind of reached out to me and said, "You need a job?" Yep. And I showed up to a roofing company, and he said, "You're going to be knocking doors all day." So with my experience in process engineering, I kind of started going because I just needed a job. Started knocking doors.
What year was that?
2012.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, and I live in Denver, obviously, so we get snow and it gets cold, so the season stops.
Yeah.
At a point. So I didn't want to actually knock doors through the winter. So I went in and I started doing the books for the canvassing crew.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, and found that there was some things a little bit wrong with it.
Weren't quite up to your white collar corporate standards.
Right. And they were
West.
Right. They're losing a lot of money, basically. They were paying a lot of money for no leads, basically. And no company likes that. What we talking about
by door-to-door hucksters.
Exactly. And
fucking con artists, sons of bitches.
And that's kind of started me working in the roofing industry and seeing how it just the chaos that I saw, and just everybody kind of reacting, and I just had an opportunity, and I learned this system here because the boss said, "Dude, learn this and train it," and I did, and that kind of turned into getting to know that not every roofer is a
motherfucker,
right? Is and a mega roofer. There's a lot of us out there, a lot of roofers out there.
That guy, Scott, Interstate Roofing,
Scott.
Badass dude. Love Scott, and he's a role model.
Actually, there's a lot of things that he has brought into this industry that people do today, and that he's kind of brought to light. He was he's a trendsetter.
For someone who's been in it for long, like, dude, once you get in as an entrepreneur. I've almost been an entrepreneur for 20 years. I'm 36. I started at 18. So it gives me 18 years.
Yeah.
And he's been doing it how long?
He's a little older than
me. Triple
yeah.
OG club.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. He's been he started from he talks about his white Grand Am. I think it was for the Grand Am. He would just get out the car and knock on doors.
What he told me is that he saw in the fact that the radio ads, the yellow pages, and then the digital marketing. He realized that getting on the front of Google was just like getting on top of the yellow pages.
Yeah.
But he told me, he's like, man, I realized social media advertising is the old Google. And really, we kind of created the first and most duplicatable method with using hidden damage, build, testimonial video, hook, story, offer, using a script that we can teach other contractors and blue collars that allow them to sell through video on Facebook in the targeted areas they want to sell in. It created, a movement of people with results that could build companies in areas as storm catchers. It made me a storm catcher. And the most consistent and dependable way to build wealth is the ability to advertise for profit. But then I created success creates new problems. I didn't have a way to organize everybody leads because I was used to being a door-to-door guy.
Yeah.
And so, just like you said, even him managing the canvassing department was hard.
Yeah.
They were ripping him off.
Yeah.
And
no oversight.
look, my own company was ripping me off because we charge our sales rep a win fee for the leads. So they only get charged for the lead if they close a deal. But they were, manipulating the system because the two systems weren't connected. And my company wasn't actually able to recover how many leads we were converting. And so our numbers were disconnected. Mm-hmm. And so we had a big problem. Yeah. I'm spending lots of money on advertising. It doesn't look like, we're getting as much sales as we should, but we are. And I know why are because they're coming in. And so show us the digital marketing board. Okay. And this is SDU Hub, and this is
the dashboard here real quick.
Our digital marketing opportunities list. And with 2,200 leads, there's 1,894 of them in the second contact. A lead that comes in off of Facebook isn't a scheduled appointment. You have to schedule and confirm. We found we needed an inside sales center. Mm-hmm. There was a company that really was a role model for me without even having to teach me. Yeah. And this is how you can learn from your competition. I heard from a friend of mine, Total Home out of Florida was buying all these home advisor leads. The way they were winning when 3 people would give bids is they would respond the fastest. They would follow up on the leads the best. They had a system. No system, well, you got a lot of problems. But, the reality is that I didn't have an inside customer service or sales team to keep up with all the fucking leads.
Right.
So I built the sales team, and we had people to keep up with the leads. Now we had to text them to schedule the appointments through automated schedules. We found that calling them within 5 minutes is the most important thing. But we had to do it all through one platform. And so show them how they go through this.
Through the actual...
the opportunity pipeline is simple. If they go to the opportunities...
as these come in, either they drop in here from the different.
You know what I love about this? If you look down here, I wanted to teach my sales guys how to make the leads, and I created a new problem when they did well. They would create the leads, it would go into Facebook, and then Raymond would verify the leads, and he wouldn't know who to give it to. Mm-hmm. But if you make a video lead, don't you want the lead?
Yeah.
Well, if you look here, Vincent Weber comes from Tampa. It's a Facebook ad. It comes from Billy Joe's video, and it will be assigned directly to him. If you click inside of it, Billy Joe, of course, is able to call. He's able to text. He's able to email out of the software. But the most important thing of the whole thing is that if he closes the lead and it comes off of Facebook, I can quantify it and I can calculate it. Yeah. And my digital marketing system is connected to the production system.
Correct.
Which the production system is Job Nimbus.
Job Nimbus, yep.
And this, which will connect to any CRM, we claim open API to connect to any CRM. We have the developers, we can connect to you. So now, this is the problem. No roofing CRM, no contractor CRM connects to the digital marketing platform. I can track all my campaigns, my Google campaigns, my Facebook campaigns, and there's a lot more extra things that we can do inside of this platform. But the main thing is with it, I know my digital marketing costs. I know my digital marketing results. I know that there's massive follow-up. I know that, each time, if you go through here, it shows how many ones, how many callbacks, how many don't convert. And we actually have an inside sales team who goes through these leads. Mm-hmm. And if you go to inside sales teams, their only job is to go through the leads that other people don't want. And they take the trash. And see, I say one man's trash is another man's treasure. And our this is the future. I'm gonna give you a preview to the future of our company, because I would say one of the biggest fucking problems is people, if they don't have a virtual, don't you think a trend for 2021 or 2022 is that people will buy a complete home improvement product virtually?
Yeah.
It's a big deal, right?
Absolutely. I'm seeing it happening today.
I mean, it's happening all over. You just talked about a guy that you were just...
Right, I've helped.
West Palm, tell him about the story about this guy.
Yeah, majority of his sales come from the phone call coming in. They do base the same kind of system. They send out the report, their estimate. Most people will pay a deposit before he's even put his feet on their property.
And if we look right here, these are our inside sales department. We have a few, like 3 inside salespeople. They complete the proposals through Sumo Quote. They move each lead through each step of the process. They measure it, they research and call it, they tell the system when the quote's ready, when the quote's sent. See, the digital marketing team is actually really in tune with the inside sales team more so than the field sales team. This is the future, guys.
This is the future.
The future is selling roofs through Zoom, selling roofs through digital, and having divisions of your company through inside sales and digital marketing that equal your door-to-door teams.
But on top of that, with the systems that allow you, like the Sumo Quotes or the estimating software that you can get, EagleView, you can get everything you need to build a good quote and send it out to the customer.
You know what the most beautiful thing about this is they haven't got. I mean, we're in the beta testing of this. Compared to our company sales, is low volume of sales out of this team.
Yeah.
But they landed a job. It was a lawyer, a Cuban lawyer, and it was out of the storm. And it was a small house, but it was one of her rentals. She had a big commercial property, ended up being a $1.2 million deal. It was approved by the insurance company last week. This job is $1.2 million. It came out of the trash. It came delivered and sold through Zoom, and it was a $1.2 million job. And so I couldn't track the leads, and I was losing opportunities like that because salesmen didn't want to run them because they were a small lead. Now we have a machine to turn it into money.
Yeah.
And so, look, guys, if you want access to this, we actually will give you a free trial. We'll get you all set up. But I want to go through the next step because I believe that all these roofing CRMs, telling a sales rep to keep an update to their sales status with no follow-up is a big problem. Because my biggest problem is the biggest thing that fails in sales is when you don't close a deal, the follow-up. They forget who you are. They forget what it is. There's no system that's getting me back in front of it. You know what?
Right.
The number one rule in sales is get another appointment. If you don't fucking close the deal, get another appointment. That's the number one rule in sales. What roofing sales CRM does follow-up on sales? Which one?
Which one? This one?
But is there another one?
No.
Is there another option that does something close?
Not without.
Are you a real expert at roofing and contracting CRMs? Which CRMs are there?
Like this, there's without. I can't
Job
think.
Nimbus,
Job Nimbus
AccuLinks,
does.
Contractor Cloud, Job Progress.
I would say in any of those, they're not good at that kind of stuff. Like following up and sending tasks. You can build it in there, but that's not. I wouldn't say Job Nimbus is the best one at it because you have a little bit more malleability of it.
I agree. We're connected with Job Nimbus.
Right.
And see, the Job Nimbus platform connecting with mine, it allows me to have all this follow-up even throughout the build process where we're getting reviews. And this is a big part of sales. Okay, you think 5-star review now is everything. And I learned my lesson. And so now my company is connecting all of our students and myself, and it completely revolutionized my rating online. And we're up almost to complete 5-star, 99% 5-star. There's text and email follow-up asking for referral and 5-star reviews on every deal. And it's all built into the automation. There's, text and email that's delivering the invoice to pay digitally. And the most beautiful thing is, to scale a big roofing company to work on insurance, you need follow-up, not just in sales. You need it in sales, you need it in build, you need it in supplement. And tell them how important it is to go big, to have it all in one place. We were just in my central office, explain the depth of my collection. What did that look like?
Like
So tell them what the pit looked like in their collecting.
Oh, it's awesome. Because they have all that information. They have all to connect with the customer. It's all right there. They were awesome because they're following the process. And I wanted to kind of go off of the point what a system like this does is this here specifically is amazing. And this is what gets me all jazzed up because I love this piece of it is that not only are we managing the production side and the sales side within one system, we're also able to do more types of reach out, like follow-ups, like text follow-up and email follow-up, and not only in one place, utilizing this system.
Well, that brings me to an important point. All the other CRMs, you can't text, email, and have it all come in through one place. So if you go right here to where it says contingency signed to one of these deals that's actually done, and we look, we can actually see inside the communication. If you look down, I don't know exactly where it's at. Maybe you have to pull. You looked at the edit opportunity page. Maybe you have to look.
Oh, let's see. You're wanting to get a
look inside of it. So if you look here,
contact requests.
Here we go. So here's where we have contacted this person every single time. Here's all the different actions that we've had alongside of them. And, the best thing about it is that, being able to text somebody and have it all happen. Look, most people respond through text. And having a local number and being able to text all through the same way that you move your assembly line system, having automated text to follow up on your people, to reschedule appointments, to remind people of appointments. Dude, this is huge. And no roofing CRM, not only does no roofing CRM have the ability to follow up on leads, they have no ability to communicate. There's two-way texting in AccuLinks, but there is absolutely no way for people to have all their communication all in one place, including email, text, and phone calls off of any of these. Is there?
No.
Even the recordings of the phone calls are on this platform.
Yeah.
And so if you can communicate with that, the idea is, guys, you can hear all the interactions of your salespeople, customer service team. And I think it's important to say that how important is a calendar?
One, it's the way you run your production.
How effective are any of these calendars? Because there's weather, because everyone has their own calendar, and because of lack of communication. If there's a calendar on a software, how effective truly is it if there's not individual calendars?
Well, if it's used,
yeah,
it's great. Yeah, but if it's not, it all
most
works
contractors
together, right?
basically have to force to use. Have you ever seen the Calendly software?
Yeah.
And so do you use it?
I personally use it.
So how did that change your calendar and when other people ask for your time?
Oh, for one, I have to stay organized because I don't want to get a meeting and when my kid's in a play or something. But yeah, it's amazing. I actually, because it allows me to open myself up to anybody who needs to talk to me, and makes it really simple for them to connect to me.
Is that simple software a part of the future of how we do business?
Yeah, it already is. I think most of the people that are using it, I look at it as like, well, they got their stuff together.
And
if they're using Calendly.
What roofing or contracting CRM has a personalized calendar function inside of it?
Roofing contractor, none. I don't know any of yet.
No, there's none.
There's none.
And so we have a Calendly function where each sales rep can upload their own calendar, connect it to a global calendar. And I believe through automation, that's the only way you can manage this chaos. Because I can't really deal with all of it without some bit of automation, because I have to have more structure for more control. And now they're not all going to meet at the same time. It's going to be a lot of different reschedulings.
Oh, yeah.
But if I know all my salesperson's appointments, and it's because they're all using this Calendly function and they get dedicated to using it, doesn't it mean that we're all transparent, we're all operating, and we're all communicating through automation?
Yeah, how amazing if a customer goes on to wherever and they can see their sales reps, what their calendar looks like and what their
biggest sign
system,
of disrespect is when you're supposed to be somewhere and you're not there. The customer thinks you let them down, and I don't know how many times I've done that. I'm trying to help them out as best as I could. But, that was one of the biggest complaints about our software, Claimexpress, but it's a complaint to all these softwares because there's no individual calendar for the sales rep. And then here's the other step. Look, having an ability to create websites that sell. I used a software called ClickFunnels my entire life, and I still do, but the reality is that we can build landing pages, and if you are able to go in here and it's conversations where the communications are. And so you can look at each individual contact. You can select the campaign or workflow, and you can so that you can actually check out the conversations between each person. And more importantly, everybody's calendars are integrated, and this is the new age. We're going to connect to all the other roofing CRMs. If you can build and collect somewhere else, this is going to be where you sell and track your leads.
I want to correct with the calendar. Job Nimbus has a pretty good calendar, but interactively for customers and everything, you are still utilizing Gmail or whatever to connect. But that'd probably be the only one that has something, but nothing like what we could be doing.
Well, we went over a lot of advanced stuff, and I think the biggest concept is that roofers feel like or contractors that they're burning a candle at both ends, and that firemen, I feel like guys that are constantly putting out fires, they don't even live long lives in business because they burn out. So can you tell me some stories about that and
Yeah.
Maybe go back to the dashboard. There
I'll
you
go to the dashboard.
Over
Yeah.
there.
Yeah. So let's think. I have a few of them that I have that basically are no longer, they actually get to work on their business rather than in their business scenario, right? I guess the first one that comes to mind is the same guys that, so I have my very first contractor is also in Denver. He's storm changer, but he didn't knock doors. He did all the insurance way of doing things and had lots of insurance agents, friends. And he was just him. And that was it. He left a roofing company, called me and says, this is what I want to do. Let's figure this out. And so he started about 4 years ago now. And he put in the grind. He hired some sales guys. He built a whole presence in Denver, and then he decided, I'm going to start a media company. So he started a media company. He didn't have to be in his roofing company anymore because he got the systems in place, had the departments in place, and trusts everybody in there. He can at any moment go into the system and know, okay, I have all this stuff. Armando?
Yeah, he needs to come in here and do the podcast.
Armando, he was my boy, and he's my number one guy. And
the thing is, sometimes guys that have egos like me and him are like, I love his content. I love what he does, but we haven't got him in on the show, so we got to get him in here.
Yeah, he has a roofing company that he can trust to be run by his team and he was literally the only person. We were sitting around on a contract trying to figure out how to place a contract so he can get them printed to give to his customers. And now he's fully digital and everything is on.
Look, this is the perfect time to work on your process. Like if you have any of these problems, if you're not sure how much money you're making, you're wearing too many hats, you feel like you're candle burning at both ends, you're at the end of the year, you feel like you should have made more money than you did. You have people not sure about what their commissions are. Managers not sure. You really don't have any set procedures. Look, we can help you, and we want to help you. As a matter of fact, it's my purpose to help blue-collar entrepreneurs. And Aaron has come on as a coach for our audience to teach process. He's been a part of our manager workshops. He's been a part of our company all year, and he's going to teach you how we implement this system. And this system is not for everybody. It's for people that are serious. If you're not committed, it won't work.
Period. It won't work at all. If you have to be willing to change and be all in a system change. And if you're not, it's just going to be the thing that you put on the shelf. And it's never going to work.
What was beautiful about it is Aaron brought the digital production board, and I brought the marketing automation and the virtual business suite. We married it together over the course of the year. We invested a lot of money, a lot of time. We featured this with our marketing team. Hansel was an amazing developer to the whole deal. And as you've seen it materialize, like from what we talked about to what you see now, what's your honest opinion of this and what we've put together?
Well, I'm actually, this exceeded my expectations. I didn't know that this is where your vision was, which is amazing seeing these pieces kind of come together, which is in all systems. When you start at the foundation, and then you can start putting these pieces like this, because that foundation is solid. You don't have to move that anymore. You got a good process going. So now you can build these things to just pull every last thing out of it to get the numbers and get the profitability and get the system that
connect
you really
to
need.
The marketing systems and the digital marketing future. And we guarantee to be able to connect to any contractor CRM, any roofing CRM. You don't have to change the way you're doing things exactly right now. And so, I just want to say, Aaron, thank you. We're going to be having you coach contractors, be at our contracting event coming up at the end of May, and continue to help us. Because, I believe that this contractor's software is going to change the industry for all home service contractors. Yeah. And, it's my purpose to, scale this as big as possible as a new company. And I'm excited to do it with you, brother.
Likewise.
I appreciate it, guys.
Thanks,
so if you're
Lee.
serious and you want to automate your business, you want to get into the systems, you have any of these problems, you want solutions, look, type in Mamba below. That's Mamba. I'm talking about Mr. Kobe Bryant, because this thing works for you 24 hours a day. The way this guy practiced and played the game, just type the comments in below. We're actually going to leave the links to the SDU hub in the screen. And if you click the link there, you can go check out more information. More importantly, we want you to get a free trial. We want you to speak with me, with Aaron. If you go to tothemooncontractor.com, you can get some case studies of people that have implemented our systems, had massive success. And Aaron, where can they find you?
atrueconsulting.com. ATRU Consulting.
All right, guys. Till next time, we'll see you.